Time to talk basketball. A good, solid Game 1 final is over for the NBA championship, where the Denver Nuggets beat the Miami Heat. The Nuggets remain undefeated at home during the playoffs, and the NBA Finals look set for another record-setting season when it comes to game attendance. The season busted records as people returned to the games in the wake of the pandemic. Last year, the NBA took in around $10 billion in revenue between sponsors, TV deals, attendance, and merchandising. But the league is facing several challenges. It had to undergo a hiring freeze, budget cuts in order to reduce expenses. The NBA and the Players Union have also been in talks over a collective bargaining agreement, and that's due to take effect next year. For more things on the NBA and the season, Kate Delaney, she's an Emmy Award-winning sports commentator and CEO of Delaney Media Group. Good to have you on. Thank you.
Phillip, it's great to be with you, by the way. I was listening to what you were just saying about the NBA. It's kind of a mixed bag.
We all love sports. I think when it comes to basketball, we often compare the NBA to the NFL and MLB. And I guess let's start it with this question is, everyone's seen a rebound in attendance and sales. How has the NBA compared?
It's interesting, the NBA, as far as sales, like merch is huge. And definitely with ads over 1.3 billion, probably going to be a little bit more than that because people have come back to the game. So that part's good. But when it comes to ratings, that's completely different. So people are coming back, the attendance is up, and you're talking about a lot of ads from insurance to shoes to whatever, to some really big companies. But the ratings overall are really, really down across the board. In fact, Game 1, while it was heavily watched in some areas, it dipped significantly. It was off a couple of million, like 7.65 million people watched. But that Boston series with Miami, you had over 11 million, so a significant dip there. And these are kind of small market teams. I don't know if there's as much interest in Denver. There is a little bit more in Miami.
I mean, I was going to say that whenever you bring that particular topic up, the first things people they'll say is that, well, the team's a small market, it's not the Lakers, it's not the Knicks, and that's always been the argument when the numbers are down. And I don't know if you can extrapolate perhaps a bigger trend in terms of television, but you're competing in terms of eyeballs against a lot of things that are happening in the world today. But look at the NFL. Their ratings seem to be doing just fine, and MLB is a sort of a different situation. I mean, how is the NBA different then?
Well, I think with the NBA, some of it is superstars, right? It's who's following who. Because if we compared eras, for example, and maybe this isn't fair, but if you go like to the Michael Jordan era a couple decades ago, or the beginning of LeBron, like in 2003, and especially if you even leap up more and you go to LeBron in Miami, there are just certain superstars that the NBA has to count on. And if you don't have that superstar wattage a little bit more across the board, I think that hurts. Plus, look, there are a lot of different sports out there, especially in the United States, but also in China and elsewhere. There are a lot of different things that you can watch, a lot of different streaming events, etc. And it's about getting the younger generation to want to pay attention to the NBA to continue to grow that fan base.
Let's talk about China, because the NBA has always considered China as sort of the golden opportunity to truly expand not just the fan base, but TV deals, license deals, all the things that you've already referenced in terms of being a moneymaker. China was on the very top of that list in every category, and then we had that controversy, and now the NBA is back. So my question is, how is the NBA back, and are things back to normal in China?
I think you said it. I mean, look, China, I was doing some research about basketball overall, because I'm writing a book about basketball, about the NBA and the history of the NBA and MLB and the big four sports. And China had basketball really just 4 years after the United States, if you go back to the late 1800s. And then you look into modern times, and at least some of the surveys I've seen, you have some really hardcore fans, but you get enough eyeballs where you have at least 600 million, which is crazy amount of people that will at least watch an NBA game. So I think the interest is there, and I think that there are kids, and you certainly would know this, Phillip, that that are interested in playing the game. And of course, who's the most famous player who tries to propagate that is Yao Ming from not too long ago, actually, his era.
Right, and one thing that I noticed, so I actually caught part of the game, after we finished the show yesterday, that it wasn't easy to find the game on the channels that I thought they would be on. I mean, the one I caught was on ESPN, and I'm thinking worldwide, having the game on is going to generate interest, but then it's a big circular thing, right? Because the less the games are on the right channels, less people are watching. That impacts ratings. So I got to think the NBA is trying to get these games on, not just here for the U.S., but also for Europe and also for Asia at the right times that people can watch it.
Yeah, I think it's about multiple platforms because of the way people consume things now, too. And you're right. Even me, I'm a huge sports fan. I do sports. I'm involved in it, but trying to sometimes find the games, you're right, during the regular season, split up with 3 networks, ABC, TNT, and ESPN, and which night is it, what game is on when,
Right.
and you have to search for it. It is frustrating.
It is frustrating. Kate, really appreciate you on this fun topic. Thank you and have a good weekend.